In For Honor, the best offense is always a strong defense, regardless of what character you're playing, and that feels kind of wrong. Whether you're looking to chop someone's head off with the Kensei or poke them to death with the Valkyrie, the safest and most efficient thing for you to do is defend and wait for your opponent to make the first move. Not all players adhere to that philosophy, and that makes for some exciting action-packed duels, but occasionally I've gone through fights begging for someone to stab me so I don't die from excruciating boredom. With that said, there's a difference between defense being heavily favored over offense and a character being geared towards a defensive playstyle. The Conqueror and Lawbringer are prime examples of characters that were designed to favor defense over offense. Every move in the Conqueror's arsenal is designed to reduce his opponent's ability to attack effectively, and while some of his recent nerfs have hindered his ability to do that, we can occasionally see that concept in action. The same applies to the Lawbringer and his focus on parrying and blocking attacks and using unique follow-ups to counter. Today we're going to look at some duels from the perspective of the Lawbringer, a counter-attacker, and we'll be fighting against an Orochi, another counter-attacker. What's going to make this fight interesting is the question, who's going to make the first move? Am I going to attack first and open myself up for a counterattack from the Orochi, or is the opposite going to happen? So let's jump into it. Round number 1 is about to begin. In these first couple of rounds, we're both going to be trying to size one another up. I'm going to try and see how the Orochi likes to respond to my light attacks, my shoves, and the Orochi is going to look to see how I respond to his top lights and his zone attack, because those are the most favored techniques for most Orochi players. He's going for a Storm Rush right off the bat. I wasn't so much expecting that. It's usually an easy move to parry, but when you don't see it coming, you know, sometimes it's better to just try and block. From the looks of things, though, the Orochi is heavily favoring that Storm Rush, and this one is going to connect and open me up for some very severe punishment. He tried to throw out another zone attack to finish me off, but I bopped him on the head with that poleaxe, and now is my time to counterattack. It's time for me to go on the offensive, feinting a heavy attack into a guard break, following up with a shove, and I've run out of stamina. But fortunately for me, I don't have to worry about getting punished because we were both drained of stamina at the same time. So now it's just a matter of landing one more good shot and this guy is gonna go down. But also I have to be careful. I have to watch that top and watch that side, because those are the two favored positions for pretty much every Orochi player. So the first round is going to go to my opponent. Let's see if I can do something different in the next round to bring myself back into this fight. This portion of Sanctuary Bridge does have a lot of ledge space that I can use to my advantage, but am I going to decide to do it? You guys already know I'm a bit of a scumbag. I'll throw your ass in a hole, but this time looks like I'm trying to go for a bit of a fair fight. I might have something to prove here. I want to show him that I can tango with the best of them. I know how to dance, but it doesn't look like I know how to block the zone attack. On the other hand, the Orochi clearly knows how to parry fast attacks coming out of the Lawbringer. He's going to parry that top light and get a decent amount of punishment on me. And once again, zone attack coming out. He's going to keep using it until I defend against it properly. It looks like, though, I'm turning on the pressure a bit, landing a successful guard break, following up with a heavy shove, then light attack, and the long arm as well. Going to put him in the ground just in time because I ran out of stamina. So when I put on the pressure, it looks like I can get this guy a little bit overwhelmed, so I'm going to have to try and lean on that a little bit more in the next rounds. Hopefully, that's what I was thinking at the time of these duels. We're going to find out in round number 3. That's the cool thing about the Lawbringer, though. As a counterattacker, he can wait, he can stalk you, he can be menacing, but he can also turn on that pressure and be like an unstoppable beast. So let's see if we can make some of that animal come out in the third round. Trying to land a guard break after blocking his top light, but the zone attack is going to get me punished. I whiffed a heavy there, and the top light going to do some big poke damage as well. The Orochi getting a significant lead in health early on, using the deflects, using the zone attacks, using every good tool in his arsenal. But his aggression is going to be a little bit of a downfall. In trying to get such a health lead on me early on, he ran out of stamina and took some punishment for it. So we've evened things up just a bit. Now I just have to defend myself while my stamina recharges, and things will be all good for me. It looks like now I am finally starting to get into the rhythm of things, blocking those zone attacks as they come out, so I'm not taking any unnecessary damage. I whiffed a guard break there, but the Orochi not going to be able to capitalize on it. We're both at the same health at the moment. The Orochi throwing out another zone attack. This is a very tight one. He got bopped on the head there just as he was trying to zone it. He's turning tail, trying to run away, but you cannot outrun the law. So I'm going to get a nice execution finish, which apparently the camera thinks is a little bit too gruesome for us to see, but don't worry, it's really happening. And there you go. You hear that ambulance outside as they're coming to pick up that dead body. And they might have heard that this guy could still be resuscitated, but make no mistake, he's dead as fuck. So round number 4, if I take this one, I'm going to win the whole match. Hopefully I can do so. Hopefully I can keep up the pressure, because that is definitely something that my opponent is not responding that well to. This is where things get tense though. When someone's about to lose and you're about to win, you guys want to stare each other down. I'm going to try and throw out a side light attack with the Orochi's top light going to come out a little bit faster. We're really starting to get into that counter-attacker nature. We're stalking one another, trying to see what moves we make, seeing how things work. Feinting a top heavy attack, following up with a light, and then a successful guard break is going to do a tremendous amount of damage. But now, Orochi got a little bit too overzealous and ran out of stamina. He thought maybe he could catch me off guard with a relentless assault, but that is not going to happen. I'm going to guard break and push him into the fire a little bit, and then land a top heavy to finish him off. So that was a very quick finish to the round, but damn it, I'm happy about it because we won. We did it, guys. We did it. Before we close out completely, I want to show off the value of mind games when you're playing as the Lawbringer. Now, you may not be able to feint like the Kensei, but you can definitely trick people into responding to your moves the way you want them to respond. In these 2 rounds, I threw out raw top heavy attacks without feinting them, and both times my opponent parried them successfully. And that's the trick. Over the course of this 5-round battle, I've been committing every single time I throw a heavy attack, and this has conditioned him to believe that I will do that until the world ends. But that is not the case. In the final round, when it really counts, I'm going to start feinting. The Orochi took a very aggressive posture, and because of that, I used my shove on block to run him out of stamina, landing a successful long arm, following that up with a guaranteed side heavy, and there it was. It was very fast, but a feinted top heavy is going to bait out his parry response, and I will parry that and land a blind justice. So at this point, it's just a matter of landing a couple more blows, and we are going to do that. So there you go. These have been duels from the perspective of the Lawbringer. He's a very powerful, defense-oriented character, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with characters being optimal when played in a defensive way. It starts to become a problem when everyone is optimal when played in a defensive way. As always, the name of the game is For Honor. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.